Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com, bringing you the daily trend for week 11, day 1. It is March 13, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market. See what was going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. And trade, not much today on the markets except right here at the end. It's all about pre-FOMC here. For some reason, markets just didn't want to give the volume today. But given the sticker to the NQ here today as NQ pushes up to its all-time high, but unable to break upside. All right, let's do a little quick recap here. You can check out the technical momentum outlook for week 11. I get my insight here as well posted at See It Market and through MrTopStuff.com. And week 11 outlook as quickly in brief right up here, still holding and Bob watching that 10 EMA, 10 EMA, I'm sorry, on the daily charts here. As price action still holding upside, 4-hour chart and the range chart up here. Check out the NQ here, still same picture, holding up at the highs, with a little bit of room still here to go, and the YM as well, just holding right above the moving average, but not being able to really get a strong move up in today's session on lower volume. So it was the daily trend there on the pre-market here as price action. VIX, nothing really to sport on the econ highlights for today. The VIX sitting at 1214, and the screen share at pre-market about 30 minutes to go. ES already getting a move up, sitting around the Globex high, sitting above the VWAP. Really was the top row with a little bit of downtrend, but nothing really moving substantially. And so market action on the NASDAQ, we were looking at an overnight uptrend shop. Pre-market was sitting in slightly of an uptrend. We were looking at levels 5390, 5400, and it's exactly where we got, 5400. Downside really didn't get anywhere much, pretty much held to the 25-minute open range, but looking at 5381 as our first level to watch. Nah, we just got shy of that in the pre-market, but never there in the U.S. regular trading hour. So looking at from the big picture that we just saw as price action holding in the bigger picture upside. Let's recap that there for a moment. As you can see, holding up at the resistance levels, overbought. A little bit of room there on the 4-hour to get upside. On the NQ, big move to get up there to 54.68. But looking at the 15-minute chart, there was our levels, 53.90 upside, both on the 15-minute, 60-minute up here, as well as downside. First looking at 53.80, 53.71, next move down. All right, that was our ES. Also looking at the market profile, pretty much NQ pre-session was balanced overnight, pretty much hanging out right there at TPO and VPOC as well from Friday's session. So overnight, for the most part, was short, but really not chasing anything. We, for the most part, sat upside today through some chop. ES, similar picture, uptrend chop, uptrend. We were looking at 75 upside, 79, 2400. ES not really being able to get back up to 2400 as we roll through the week here. 2371 was really the high here. So let's jump right into the big pre-market pick there on the ES. There was our upper level, 75 upside, 59 downside. ES managing to get up to that 2370. Well, MML actually reset itself here on the ES. So 2375 was the upper levels. Really 15-minute chart, unable to really get back up. 2359 downside. We were looking at all the way down to 2367 first. So pretty much sitting in consolidation here. You can see it across the board on the ES with upper levels and downside levels as well. TPO, for the most part, overnight short, but really in balance. Balanced profile for the overnight session as we headed into the charts for today. All right, so market opens up. NASDAQ gets the sticker for the day. NQ reaches all-time highs. On low volume, though, pre-FOMC, that's all right. Balanced profile for the most part. and in a range-bound session. Let's take a look at the NQTPO as it pretty much held above, closed out the VPOC, and never really looked back. So nice balance, well, somewhat balanced profile here on the NQ, and there it was, low of the session, never really looked back, and closing out near the highs. And ES, there it is, a little bit of better balance, closing out above today's open here, above the VPOC, but within Friday's trading session. Economic highlights, really, Intel acquiring Mobileye. That was the big news out there, watching on the economic front. And in other news, not much. Japanese Navy sending out largest ship into the China Sea. We'll have to see how that follows through. And for the most part, finishing out U.S. session in a chop with a late session lift. All right, let's go through, as we do each day, the market profile we just showed you, showing you some of the charts as the ES filling out Seoul's full session. Better to go to the smaller time frames today, watching on a 3-2, but ES again, opening price here, 23.69, closing upside with that late day rush here within the last 30 minutes. But for the most part, it was all a little bit of choppy. You're watching the VWAPs, you're watching the cloud, not much room. So small pockets of trend, 1, 2, 3, better setup down here under the VWAP. Back upside, pull back and late day. So two real solid setups for the most part on the ES, or you just let it go with the volume pretty much at the low end. YM, again, went to the lower time frame, 6.3. Underneath the cloud, nice move to the downside all the way down. And unable to break above the VWAP, opening price 867, closes to the downside 842. YM not much of a mover today. And NQ full session going to a 6.3 flex Renko 1, deep pullbacks. Nah, you just can't get anything going, move to the upside. Again, I would have looked for the probability of the upside. Why? 51.44 sitting above the VWAP. Those were the moves to look at. So if you're able to get off 6 ticks, great. If you're holding within the 25-minute open range, that was a range-bound session for the most of the day, and then late day lift up here as we open up at 87.75, reach up to 99.25, but unable to break the 2400. Charts of interest, pretty much one here. ES as market action got that first lift, price action pulled back, lift 61.8 fib retracement, back downside underneath the cloud, deep pullback, nothing easy to stay on. But again, noting the resistance level here, 23.71 upside, 23.63 downside, as the ES was trying to get down here. Really never got to lows here of 63, as about 64 was the low there, but just a little shy of there. So MML, nice resistance to the downside here, but pretty much hung around this area and got a late day lift back upside. So nice move on the MMLs. All right, one note of interest, been watching, whether it's short interest, premiums, or we're going to go tag them. Watch as we roll out the week, the SPY, the SPX. Look for the 240 calls, 236 over here, big interest, open interest, and 2400. All right, let's jump into the charts. Let's go right to the daily gaps again. NQ unable to break that at 5400. We opened up at 87.75, so already NQ on a relentless move upside. The YM doesn't agree much. ES just struggling behind, so got to give it to the NQ for leading the race here. Keep the eyes on the open gaps downside, 32.50. Any rip short, we'll get down there. 646, 599, and ES 48.75. Mark on the charts. Daily crude, yeah, still holding at the lows here. Nearest open gap will be downside, 46.51. All right, where are we headed to tomorrow? Well, first, let's look at the AD lines. AD lines by the levels today were pretty much flat across the board, unable to break above the pivot. Use those in conjunction with your trend. Why couldn't we get any higher? Just for that reason. AD line didn't want to push above, and so we were stuck on the line and in the sandbox. All right, let's jump right into the short-term charts here. ES 15-minute chart. There it was, the picture off the highs. Yep, there it was. MML right there, 23.71. Breaks down and all the way to the downside. Support, reversal, oversold. Give yourself a range here from support to reversal. Continues to retest 1, 2, 3 times. Finally, fourth time a charm as it moves up here to the resistance level, and there was your move from the lows to the highs. So nice move on the ES. Still major support resistance, a lot of consolidation, 23.67. Overnight session, again, any pullback, look to 69, 67 down here, not much of a range. 67 here, 67. If we are able to break upside above 72, watch the 23.75 upstairs. And 15 minutes prior to market open tomorrow, watch the charts as I post them for the reset of the 15 from overnight price action. Taking a look at the YM as price action, again, still pretty much consolidated here in the afternoon session, around 50% pullback at major support resistance. Off the lows here of the oversold after a run down from the tops, off resistance, MMLs. Nice range bound session. Bigger picture still holding here in the 60-minute, just below major support, and as well on the YM. Movement overnight. Watch for 859 upside. Watch for 820 all the way down to 806, and then 781 to the downside here on the YM. Wrapping it up on the NQ. NQ makes a move here for the most part from the lows to the highs. That's again after an MML reset. 5,400, almost able to tag it. Didn't get to ring the bell, but we're back up at the highs. 5,400 overbought. MML levels seen there on the morning as from the lows, pull back and back up from last week. 4-hour chart still holding to the upsides, 5,400. So the big question in all your minds is, do we go higher? Do we go lower with FOMC? I can't answer that, Jedi traders. All I can tell you is you got to watch the charts, be ready in both directions each day. The technical momentum surely will always have more room to go on the smaller time frames. Bigger picture, yes, we continue to push the highs as we see overbought. And as we take a look at the daily, the 4-hour and the core setup here, we're overbought. Resistance, moving our way back up with saying that there's more room. 54.68 could be one of those levels to watch. But before we get there, we want to see 29 and 46. Obviously, 46.88 above that. So here's the 68.75 on the daily, 68.75 on the 4-hour. Before we get there, watch for the reject here at 429 first. So there's always levels to the upside, but there's plenty of open gaps and support and resistance to the downside that we'll have to watch once trend will move. All right. Let's jump into quickly a little reverse order here today. Intraday charts, again, choppy on the crude. This will see the first signs of any movement. Gold, again, a nice pocket on Globex there to the Globex high. Nice movement of trend, and then bang, downside on all reds. So gold finishing out pretty flat. Not much to say on the 6J. Pretty much chop overnight with pockets of trend inside the Globex. Above and below the VWAP, and the 6E again. Thought we might get something moving here, but guys, look at this. 12, what was that? About 3-4 hours of price movement right here. It was the overnight session, obviously, right here, Globex, with the London Open, giving ourselves a little push up and then back down on the open for Monday. All right, that is where we sit for market actions. We roll into tomorrow. Again, don't expect much. FOMC beginning tomorrow. Red Star event might give us a little price action, and then any pre-antics to any reports coming out Wednesday. Plenty of Red Star events. Watch the debt limit if that's going to have any impact, and then quad witch to roll out the week. That concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key futures markets. I pointed out the levels both upside and downside to watch. You can use those charts on your own. Today, finishing out on the NYSE with 83 new 52-week highs and new 52-week lows, 54. A little bit of better improvement from last week. Hey guys, feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy, a market, a chart, a time frame will keep you disciplined. Find me every day on Twitter at tradingfibs. As always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. For those of you that are interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, feel free to email me, David at tradingfibs.com. You may join us on any Thursday or Fridays to view the live chart setups as they happen in the trading day. Make sure to check out the pre-market trend 15 minutes prior to market action. Technical momentum outlook here for week 11 posted here on Sunday with the big picture. Pullback indeed. Bottom line, I reiterate, FOMC is the event to watch. Until then, trend remains upside. As you saw in the chart today, I can't begin to start to tell you that we're headed downside until I see that move. As the dips continue to be bought with considerable momentum back upside, that's where I stay. That's where I sit each day. But again, watch that break of the daily 10 MA downside. Also revisiting those all-time highs as we did on the NQ today. But we got to get that ES and that YM up there. All right. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Have yourselves a good day, good night, and good trading to you.